Hey guys, welcome to Burn the Barn Down podcast number 5.
Number 5, man.
I'm pretty excited about number 5. I'm excited about number 4. I can't believe how fast this has been going.
I know, but 5 already, man.
It's kind of nice.
Nice, huh?
Yeah. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. I know the last couple of times we had
David.
David joining us
from Texas,
which was a lot of fun. Yeah, had that was a lot of fun, a lot of insights there. But we're going to change the pace a little bit. We're going to go back to our roots. It's going to be the two of us again.
Yes, the two of us. Yep.
This is a podcast that's been a long time coming, to be honest with you. We've been wanting to talk about religion for a long time. We're not going to get too much into the weeds with it. We are going to talk about some here and there.
Just our opinion and whatever,
see what happens.
We're going to let the conversation flow. It's been an interesting week,
super interesting week. It just so happens today that we're doing this podcast is the day that Kevin McCarthy got the boot.
Did you see it coming?
I did.
I heard they were gonna.
I saw it coming when they first voted him in for the speaker. Remember, it took 15 times to get him voted in.
Oh, yeah, that's true, huh?
One of the provisions was that any one vote could turn it into one of this motion to vacate, which is what happened. And you knew it was going to happen. I just didn't think it would happen this quick.
It's quick, and then they said elections are coming around the corner in November. But nothing going on this year. It's next year.
Next year, yeah.
Next year.
But still, it's right around the corner for them.
Yeah.
Which kind of, he's out. He can actually be nominated to go back in.
Yeah.
And start that whole process all over again.
But how would you feel as a congressman and some of your own party help voted you out?
Help kick you out? Really, that's the state that they're in. They did it to themselves. If you really think about it, Kevin McCarthy did it to himself, making that agreement.
Yeah,
they call it making a deal with the devil. The devil's going to get his pay,
He backed out from President Biden's deal, huh?
Yeah, he did. So he backed away from that deal. He also backed out of the deal he had with the Gates. They call it, I don't know what you want to call that, the MAGA conference or whatever you want to call them, the MAGA caucus. I don't know what you want to call those people.
Yeah. So
the extreme right.
And then I saw Matt Gaetz out of Florida. He was one of the first ones to try to get him out of there.
And it was coming, and everybody saw it coming. But honestly, even though there's a part of you that says they cannot be that dysfunctional that they're going to make that happen, but I guess
and
they did.
Like I said, some of these Republicans that voted weren't they real advocates of Trump?
All of them, basically all of them.
And so,
I think the biggest kicker that got them. Gates can get on the front of the cameras and say all this stuff about we were supposed to be doing some line item, voting and stuff like that, but it's never been done that way. When there's so many items in one of those things, you can't do it that way. But the thing is, they wanted to stop. They wanted to stop the government. They wanted to shut us down.
See, but that's not the time.
It's never the time.
You got to put the country first before your own special interests, right?
All the time, every time, and these people don't know that. And it's not only them. If you think about it, Kevin McCarthy is in our district, right?
Yes.
Pelosi is in California also.
Yes.
So, Texas has their own people. But why do all of us have to cater to these one particular facet of people that just, you know what I mean? Why are we all having to do what they say just because, the government's supposed to represent all of us?
Yes.
You can't hijack a piece of it and say, look, we're taking advantage of the fact that we only have a little bit of advantage in the House of Representatives, which they don't. The Republicans have very few. There's not that many seats. So what was it, 6 or 8 seats or something? 6. Y'all fact check us. I don't know. All I know is it's a slim lead. It might be 20 something, but still,
and like I said,
it's not that much.
When I think they had the majority. So I have one question: whoever comes in, it has to be a Republican because they have the majority, right?
No.
For the next house,
no, it doesn't. Because if they look at it, they even said it doesn't even have to be somebody who's in Congress.
What doesn't?
No, they were talking about nominating Trump.
Oh.
Yes. So one other thing that I'd like to say is what's happening is you've always been told that you have to be a gentleman to be in Congress, right? It's a gentleman's club, right? And the reason it is because look what happens when you don't have gentlemen in there. Gentlemen handshake agreements that people do the same thing always, but when you, like Trump, when he got in there, he started breaking status quos left and right. Look at what's happening now. That's they're talking about somebody voting Trump in. That.
What?
Come on, man. That's a That would never happen. That should never happen. So a lot of things that we thought were rules unbreakable,
Yes.
that made us safe and comfortable as Americans, it's all shadows. It's not real.
I wonder if this would happen in the Democratic Party.
I mean, it can. I think that because I'm gonna make a lot of people mad, but the Democrats are a little bit. They're more veiled. If they're scoundrels, they're not as open as the ones that we have going right now in the Republican Party. I mean, I'm sure they are, and if they weren't, we would have gotten a lot more stuff done for the people of the country. But they hide it a little bit better, maybe.
But like I said, I remember when Nancy was the leader, AOC. She wasn't real happy with her.
No, and you know what? She stepped down. Yeah. Nancy finally stepped down, whether it was time or not. But
she's running again, right? Is she still in there? Or?
I think she said she's going to run for another term.
Another term, huh?
No, I mean, she won't be the speaker, but but she is going to run for another term. But I guess, I don't know.
Maybe she's waiting for Gavin to run so she could team up with him and win up.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I think it's like we talked about last time, term limits. I think she needs to be out of there because
a lot of these guys, But like I said, there's too much going on, too much special interests that are keeping these guys in power,
Yes.
And so, like I said, but it's crazy how they can't get together and get things running,
It's I know, and it seems like something I heard on I think it was on YouTube, how on the Republican Party way back then they've always been giving you. They rule by fear. Do you notice that? That's how they get people to vote, by fear. Like first it was the black people way back in the 50s and 60s pushing against the black people. Hey, they're going to come to do this. They're coming for your jobs. Does that sound familiar? Same thing in the even in the 60s and 70s. Especially in Texas and California, Mexicans were in the forefront then. We're getting too many people and this and that started coming up. And then after that, they went to Muslims, it went to, remember the Jewish people had a problem with that also. They had a problem with Jewish people.
Yes.
And next thing you know, you start running out of people to marginalize. Next thing you know, it's the Democrats. Now let's go against the Democrats, where it was, us battling the same problem, right? Now all of a sudden it's the Democrats. And what happened now, and this is the weird part, is that the Democrats are showing themselves and who they are, and they're not losing as much ground as they thought they would have lost, right?
Because I remember the sweep was going to come.
Yes, the red wave.
Yeah, red wave.
So the Democrats aren't being vilified, so they can't use Democrats as the enemy anymore because they're winning. They're actually they're holding their own at the very least. So what are they doing now? Now they're fighting the Republicans are fighting with each other because they got to have an enemy.
Yep.
You have to have an enemy. That's the only way that's going to, and if you look at it, people have been saying that for years, that's the only way that's going to play out. You run out of enemies, you got to fight with somebody.
But do you think it's fair for a certain, like I said, a few, maybe, how many congressmen per state? I know it's 2 senators, right?
Yeah, 2 senators, and it goes by population.
But
California has a few more.
A few people make decisions for millions of people.
Exactly.
And then most of those people are working for their own
self-interest. Yeah. People who pocket them the most money, that's who they're going to go for, the big companies. I know I talk about the big companies a lot on this podcast, and we've had several conversations about it, but that's why the big companies are bad. They got more money to so you and I couldn't get together and buy a congressman. But just take one big company, not even one company. You get a whole bunch of people, say the meatpacking industry.
Yes.
If they want to change some policies there, all they got to do is there's only like 4 or 5 of them in the United States, right?
Yeah.
And making millions of dollars. So they can get together and buy a congressman or 3 and buy enough to get votes to sway an election. So
yeah, that's true.
Or sway a bill.
But like I said, we need to, these guys got to get their act right because the government was going to close.
Yeah, and they wanted it. This is the whole reason that McCarthy got kicked out, because he didn't close the government. Donald Trump, these handful of Republican,
and I don't understand, what do the Republicans, congressmen stand for? I mean,
other than anti-gay, anti-Mexican, they just hate groups, but what really they say it's going to be for small business or small government, stuff like that, and they don't want to send, I guess smaller government, meaning less taxes.
Taxes.
But the thing is, everybody knows you have to pay taxes to to run, to run the government, and you have to do
But
it.
there's bigger issues that need to be, worked on.
Yeah.
And it seems like they're just they're fighting each other.
See, but that's what I don't understand, how the Republican Party gets so many Christian coalitions on their side. I don't understand that at all. I really don't, because if you think about it, the Christian faith, the way I got taught, is you look after a fellow man, have everybody comes up, you help each other out, you clothe, like I said before, you clothe the naked and you feed the hungry,
Yeah.
And that's how I was brought up. And I, like an idiot, I guess I was young and dumb, and I thought, hey, this is nice, I want to be a part of this.
Yeah.
And as you get older, you start looking around and seeing the people who profess to be Christians, and I'm like, man, if these people are going to heaven, I don't want to be hanging out with them for eternity. You know what I mean?
I don't know if you heard. I talk about religion. Recently, I heard that I guess Kris Jenner has her church now. In California.
I did.
It's called I think
California Church or California
something like that, right?
Anyway, the Kris Jenner
I didn't know Kris Jenner was a Christian.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I think that she's a millionaire.
Yeah, and I guess you have to have pay $1,000 a month
to make
be part of that church.
That's not a church. That's money laundering or something.
Yeah.
Man. That's something there that's not.
And then it's probably a big tax
write-off.
Tax write-off.
I'm sure it is. Like millionaires, why do they give so much money to Bill Gates? Oh, he's giving a lot of money away. Yes. He's avoiding taxes. That's what he's doing.
And you know what? Talking about that, I feel like Bill Gates has an organization, right? And a lot of people give to the organization.
Yeah, charities.
Yeah. You really think Bill Gates needs money?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly like same thing with Kris Jenner. I guarantee you that's a tax break, that she's a tax haven. Donald Trump. Why are we giving Donald Trump money? Why do you guys send Donald Trump money? He's a billionaire.
Didn't he make a lot of money after him being arrested?
I heard he got a lot of donations that way. I don't get it. This guy's a billionaire. Why? You guys are bragging about how he didn't take a salary, but you guys are supplementing his income by sending him money. Why would you do that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess what we need to be talking about is churches being taxed. I mean, should they be taxed?
It's a very delicate subject, because I've been in church all my life, and I've been in churches where there has been a lot of need in the church,
Yeah, for sure.
Especially small churches where there's bills to be paid.
Yeah.
There's
there's things to buy.
You gotta pay the mortgage or the rent on the building. The power.
So you guys know churches, when they make purchases, they do it under tax-free stuff, so they don't get paid taxes for buying like say they buy a car. They don't have to pay taxes if they do it for the church.
No, and I understand there's a lot of need, but I know there's a lot of these guys that have corrupted the message.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys, they're flying in private jets.
Yes.
They got $1 million homes.
Yeah, or several $1 million homes. I'm looking at you, Joel Osteen. Kenneth Copeland, Ellen, Texas churches have a bunch of them because they don't pay taxes.
I've seen that church in Houston.
Yeah, his Joel Osteen's church.
That thing is huge.
Yep. Kenneth Copeland. I live, not say too much, but I'm probably maybe 20 miles, if that, from Kenneth Copeland. That big old compound. I pass it every once in a while when I'm going down the back roads.
Jets and all that, huh?
Oh man, he's got a helicopter landing pad and everything. So.
And like I said, if you work and you want to buy your stuff, all power to you,
Yeah.
But if the church is buying you all that stuff, then I think that's kind of.
Yeah, because so they raise all kinds of money by people donating, right? And once you get to a certain point, it's just like the corporations and taxes. If you get to a certain point, you got to start paying more taxes. You need to start paying more taxes because you made it. You know what I mean? Now, these churches are the same way. Once you get to a certain level, why are you still getting all this money and not? You're not helping people out anymore. Now you're helping yourself out. Now people are sending you millions and millions of dollars so they can have a tax break too.
And but see that
it's business.
That's it. But see, I've seen both sides.
Yeah.
Some churches.
We're from smaller churches. You ever been to a big church like that?
I've been to big churches, but
like that big.
No, but I know churches here where that, I guess the pastor has an elevator just to go into.
Oh man, see, I've never had.
And but I've also been to the churches where, you know, they're barely making it. You know.
Yeah, most of the churches I've been to, you know, they're comfortable in Texas.
And they're home churches where people help out, you know, and people want to, you know, support their church.
And there was a guy. Did you see the one where I'm sure you guys have seen it because it's been all over TikTok, where he's talking about, I've got a chandelier worth more than most people's houses.
Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah.
You remember him?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, how do you? There's no reason for him to have a congregation other than they need him to funnel money.
But you know that's what they call. I guess they call it the prosperity message.
And you know when that started to me, remember back in I'm going to say 2000s when the prayer of Jabez started coming around. Yes. Everybody started making that prayer of Jabez. Yeah. Remember that prayer?
Yeah.
Where God increased my boundaries or something like that. And that's just something that people started saying and using so that they can feel good about being rich. Okay, I guess our point is, everybody knows they make too much money.
Yeah.
And why do they need that much money? I mean, they say, well, I'm going to be an example to God because to you because this is what happens whenever you really listen to God. But to me, that's when you listen to Satan, because there's no way that God wants you to have all that much money.
You know, the message is salvation.
Exactly. You know, so you think that guy's going to get salvation with all those gold blings and?
No, and they corrupted the word of God, because having money doesn't mean you're blessed.
Okay, it's,
you know, and a lot of people do want to make it seem like,
especially the prosperity,
you know,
preachers that you're talking about.
Having God in you, the Holy Spirit in you, that's enough for you to have peace.
To me, that's what richness means is peace. And you don't need money for that. You really don't. There's some of the nicest people I know don't have a lot of money, you know, yes. But they're fine. They're happy. They seem to be making it, you know.
You know, and like a lot of these churches, they want to please people.
Yeah.
You know, so a lot of people feel comfortable and that's why they give money, you know.
Yeah, I know. And a lot of them, they want you to see what they have, and they say, look, this is what happens when you give to God.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
You're stealing from God.
Yeah, yeah. You put in your tithes, you give a little extra, you know, God puts it in your heart. Look at me, look at what I got, and they show off their rings and stuff like that. So honestly, I feel like churches need to be held accountable, just like Donald Trump's being held accountable now, so just like other.
You're just kind of like, you got to tax the rich churches, right? Like,
I think you do. I think you kind of have
like
to.
Taxing the rich,
because it's either all or nothing, right? And just like the big businesses, when we talk big businesses, you have to make a distinction. You can't say, so like when I talk about small churches not having to pay the taxes, but the big business paying the taxes, that's the same way I'm talking about small businesses not paying taxes like the big businesses. Everybody needs to make that distinction and stop putting everything in one basket.
Yeah.
There's no way that you can say that the church that we go to right now, we go to the same church, and it's a small church, and I would love for them to have $1 million in the bank, because I'd like to see what they do with it. I have a feeling they would do something well with it. I mean, you know, I don't know that they do. I don't know, but I would like to see it happen. And you only know what the big businesses do with it. You know, so I think you need to tax them. And I think the way to do that is to talk about, like I saw somebody saying, there's a form you fill out whenever there's a preacher talking about who to vote for. You know, separation of church and state. I really do feel like churches need to be taxed.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
those churches.
Yeah, those churches. Because I mean, you can't tax a small church.
You can't. You shouldn't. You can.
I mean, you can, but you shouldn't. Because
you shouldn't.
Then you know.
Yeah, and a lot of it, I think they need to be held accountable by what they do with that money.
Yeah, because I mean, some churches, the pastors still work.
Yeah.
You know, they work.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, they're there Sundays or during the week.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
And so, and I still believe, you know, you have to also help out if you got a pastor. You know, I still believe in you know, helping them out too. You know.
Yeah.
They're being part of their church and
they're
giving their life to the church. You know.
Yeah.
But a lot of these millionaires, you know, like a Creflo Dollar or
another millionaire church pastor. Yeah, see, these guys, they shouldn't exist.
I guess they will put on the money, put your money in the altar, and then they will run over it and multiplications.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, there's people that say, you know, you send me $10 or $100, and I'll put it in a pile. I'll pray over it for you. You know what I mean? You don't want to pray for that money, and it'll be praying for you because you sent that money.
I believe there's no power in that.
There's not, and I think a lot of people are going to be surprised.
God wants your heart. He wants your obedience. You know, He doesn't need your money. I mean, but I believe in giving.
But okay, so when I say that I really don't want to be in heaven with a bunch of these people that say they're going to heaven, you know where I'm coming from, right?
Yes.
I mean, I don't want to. I've seen people who prophesied to be Christians and like Donald Trump. I keep bringing Donald Trump in. I'm gonna have to.
You're gonna get a lot of hate. He doesn't like Donald.
I don't. I really don't, because people think he's a good Christian. He's a man of God. And that kind of, if Donald Trump's going to prison, I'm not going. I mean, going to prison. He's going to prison, but if Donald Trump is going to heaven, I don't want to be there. You know what I'm saying? Because if God lets Donald Trump in there, he's gonna let it in there. You know, he's gonna let it in.
No, but
does that make any sense? I don't want to part of that.
Hopefully, God has mercy for him. You know, and he, you know.
That's okay. That's another one. We need to talk about that.
He gets baptized.
So you think that he hadn't had a chance to repent up until now?
Yeah.
How old now? He's 78?
78.
Something like that?
Hey, when there's life, there's hope. So there's still hope for him to be saved, you know?
I'm not doing it.
Did I do that?
No. I won't buy it. He's had all these years. I wouldn't buy it anyway. So that's my point is I don't think that the church today is where it should be because of people like, not just Donald Trump, but people who believe in Donald Trump. So let me ask you something. Do you believe in helping the church and giving to the church? I believe you can help and give to the church. It depends on what they do with that money too.
I mean, I in my case, I give, and to my church, and and they whatever they do there with that money, that's them and God's. As long as I commit, giving to my church, and I know that I'm with God.
That's everybody has to make that decision for themselves, to be honest.
Because if I worry about where the money's going, then I'm not giving.
Right.
I'm giving. Well, you give with your heart,
Yeah.
But like I said, I believe in giving. But yeah, I understand where you're coming from. And like I said, that has maybe been a big cause that a lot of people are not coming to God.
Right.
Because a lot of people point out the negativity.
Look at who you guys Christians put out there as people to follow.
Yeah.
Who do you guys rise up? Hold up there. People like. Well, we talked about all the churches. I mean, all the pastors that we named. Those are not, to me, that isn't what I was taught growing up by the Bible. What God expects from from an individual.
Like T.D. Jakes. I don't know if you heard of T.D. Jakes.
I have heard of T.D. Jakes. Yeah. There for a while, I thought he was interesting. I don't really know that much about him anymore.
Yeah, I guess he was. I guess Tyler Perry gave him $1 million and prayed for him and prophesied over him.
Yeah,
that was a real big thing going on. But like I said, the message has been corrupt.
It has, and something that I've been thinking about a lot lately. And if you look at the Bible, if you open it up to any page, there's at least hundreds, if not thousands, of ways to present that Bible to the people.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And if you look at it, what do we always talk about? And we always hit on all the time when we're talking about the Bible. We're talking about it's a sin for it's a man and wife. It's what I mean.
Yes.
Well, that's what we talk about. We're talking about a man and a wife, and not man, Adam and Steve. Yes. Blah blah blah. And we talk about that quite a bit, and how homosexuality is an abomination. We talk about that all the time.
Yes.
And I'm sure it's in there. We've seen it. It's in there. It's in parts of it, but it's like one or two little passages. But my point is, even if that isn't true, why do we focus on that? If you look at it, that's culture wars right now. That's the big thing that everybody talks about.
People focus on sin.
Okay, but my point is, if you're somebody who is trying to get the message to people, why do you focus on that? Why wouldn't you focus on helping people? No, why don't you focus on giving money to the poor people, stuff like that?
That's not the message.
But why isn't it though?
The message is Jesus.
Jesus, okay,
you come
Jesus.
To Jesus, and you come and you give your life to Jesus. You have to surrender yourself to Jesus, and leave sin.
But that's not the message that's coming across. Like one of the stories that stuck to me when I was growing up is when Jesus said, "He who is without sin cast the first stone."
Yes.
Who was he protecting?
The sinner, right?
No, he was protecting
the lady.
A lady who was a woman of the night. Did you want to call it?
She was
prostitution.
Yes.
And he was protecting her. He stood in front and said, "Hey, who is without sin, cast the first stone." See, that is something that people can get behind. that is something that people can rally around and say, hey, you know what? This is the kind of stuff that I want to be part of. You know what I'm saying?
No, people who want you come to God with all your troubles, with all your sin, and you leave it to Him. He's going to change it.
Yeah. No, I agree.
You know,
but my
you cannot be. The thing is, like, the main purpose of life was to produce. Man and a woman produce. That was God's plan for man and woman when He created the world.
Okay, and that was when He created the world, but now we're talking how many generations later?
Yeah, but the Bible says
overpopulation.
The Bible says that God doesn't change.
Yeah, but it's the same. You're still not understanding what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say is I'm sure that I know that's in there. I'm not sure. I know that's in there.
Yes.
But I know all this other stuff is in there. But why do we focus on things that drive people away from the church? Why don't we focus on things that would actually get them into the church and then show them the rest of it? You know.
But, okay. What's the biggest the enemy? What is the devil trying to do? Is destroy families right now. That's one of the biggest things. Is to destroy families.
Okay, my point is, why do you say that?
What do you mean?
Why are we saying the enemy is God trying to destroy families right now?
The devil?
So the devil is trying to destroy families.
He's trying to destroy families.
But why do we focus on that?
Because family is important.
Yeah, but there's so many other. You don't think people dying on the streets is important?
It is, but you got to understand.
But that's my point. That's my point. Is there's so many things to focus on. Why do we focus on the things that? Why that? I guess.
No. The thing is, it's because and like I said, I don't condemn only homosexuality. There's also adultery. That's a sin.
Yeah, but most of the conversations we have it's not adultery.
But the Bible says the wages of sin is death. So that includes homosexuality. It includes abortion. It includes a lot of every sin.
Right.
So, and homosexuality is a big issue.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, why is that a bigger issue than racism or, like I said, people dying of starvation in the streets? Or
the thing is, people are dying of starvation because people want to starve themselves. Because there's a lot of there is. There's not a help out there, Daniel. People just don't want it.
But there's people that I don't
want to change the subject, but there's people getting cash aid and food stamps all over the place.
And there's also people who don't.
If anybody that needs help, there's help. There's food for everybody. This is America.
Yeah, but then when you say that, there's other videos that we can point to where people say that they shouldn't get that, or they should take a drug test for that, or that they, you know what I mean? That's not giving. That's not giving from the heart. That's just. My point is there's a double standard there, and it's my question. My goal is how do you get the message to people where they want to join the church instead of lose people like we're losing.
It's
you understand my question, right?
Yeah. No,
I'm trying to say how to get people to say, you know what, this is what I want to be a part of, and you can't do that the way things are going right now.
No, but I came to a realization, Daniel, that it's not about what we do. It's about God's mercy for people.
I don't know, man. I think because God says go out and be a beacon for me, No,
but I said, you to. No, I do. But it's you can give people all the help in the world, but if people don't want to change or people don't want to surrender to sin, then you don't do no change.
Yeah.
Because I can give the homeless people any food. I can give them, and they're still going to be there.
So how many people do you think that the church loses by straight up saying homosexuality is a sin and people have no rights to do that? How many people the church
people have all the rights to do whatever they want.
Yeah, but you've heard it several times. I know you've heard it many times. We probably even had it on the podcast where I don't think that they should have the same rights as everybody else.
No, as human beings, everybody has the same rights.
Yeah, but that's not what the church is saying.
Well, because the church, what is the church use to message? The Bible. Mm-hmm. So the Bible clearly says that marriage is between a man and a woman.
Yes.
That doesn't mean I hate you if we hate homosexuality.
But the Bible also says, "He who is without sin cast the first stone." That's all of us. None of us are without sin.
Yeah, but it's not just talking about a homosexual. It's also talking about people who steal. As a human being, do you believe if you were to die, you think you'll go to heaven?
I think I'll go to heaven.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think God understands how people are That's a real super personal question to be asking me here on the podcast.
No, I'm just saying because it's not about if I give to the poor, if I give, it's about me surrendering my life to God and being under His whatever He wants me to be.
Yeah. So again, that's we're kind of skirting the issue. My question is, how do we get people in to go to the church? Because and I know church is dying. We've said that several times. The only time we got a kick in the churches recently that I know is whenever, like you're talking about, the people come in, they want to push themselves on the school systems, making new churches so they can change things politically in the United States.
The only people are going to come to God when there's a need.
There's a need right now.
No, but the spiritual need, an inner man need. And people don't come to church for food.
No, but everybody's searching for something to.
People are searching for to be free from sin.
And that's exactly what my point is. So, like me, when I go to the mountains,
Yes.
I'm avid outdoorsman. I mean, I'm too old to be much of a big sportsman, but we do a lot of stuff outside. We do a lot of things, hiking, and it's magnificent out there. To me, you're in God's creation, and you're an outdoor guy too. And I get a feeling out there of just peace and calm and serenity that people just want to have in their life, and I think everybody should have that in some form or another. And a lot of people find it in the church, and I think that's great. And my thing is, how do you get people to the church to feel that?
The thing is that it's like the peace you get in the mountains by yourself is not the peace that God gives. It's not the same.
I think it is. I think it is to a certain extent.
I mean, because I could talk spiritual stuff.
Yeah.
But I want to just keep it down to where people understand.
Okay, I'm with you.
But like I said, the peace that I can find in the mountains doesn't compare to the peace that God gives me through His Holy Spirit.
Exactly, but He doesn't give it to you in church.
No, He gives it to me anywhere.
Exactly, that's my point.
Yeah, but if I'm hiking in the mountains or if I'm not gonna get the peace that God gives me when I'm in.
I think that depends on Him. I think that depends on the person too.
No,
you've never prayed in the mountains.
I say I can pray in the mountains and feel the presence. I can pray in my bedroom and feel the presence.
That's kind of where I'm.
Like I said, but it's more of a relationship thing.
Yeah.
God,
exactly. Yeah. To me, if you have that relationship with God, you feel it where you feel it. But you let it go right there.
But like I said, if I say, Daniel, come to church, we're gonna treat you nice, we're gonna give you food, but I'm not speaking deliverance upon your life. That carries no weight. Me giving you,
that's true.
Pampering you, and giving you food, and telling you it's okay. That's when
not.
It comes to
that's not what I'm talking about either. But the point is, what I feel like today is Christians try to batter you with the Bible. You know what I'm saying? And like they probably beat you over the head with the Bible, saying it's in here and this in here, like the religion of pain and stuff like that. It just doesn't.
Hey, the Bible also hurts me.
Yeah, I know it's going to, but
the Bible also hurts me. So it doesn't mean that there's things in the Bible that I don't agree with. My flesh doesn't agree with.
Yeah.
But I know it's sin.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way that I'm going to overcome that is giving my life and surrendering my will to God.
Right. Yeah. No.
That's the key. Nobody wants to surrender and give the will to God. They want to go to these churches.
I think a lot more people want to.
They want to go to these churches where they're going to tell you, you're born for greatness and you and this and
I get that too. But
when the message is you need to surrender to God.
Maybe that's where we are, and that's why we're not going to get much. But remember, much growth.
Many are called, but few are chosen.
Yeah, I know. But that's. And
the Bible says that the way to heaven is narrow, and the way to the destruction is wide. The way is wide.
Yeah, I just think that there's a lot of people who are going to have their eyes open once they do get to heaven, and those gates don't open for them.
That's a personal. The thing is that we can't think about it like that. Because you come into God and give your life to God, that doesn't mean that you're not a sinner no more.
Yeah.
If you think, the Bible says you're saved by grace and not by works.
Okay, so but the thing is, how do you get somebody to go into a church like our church that we go to? I like our church.
The thing is, it's for great. Me. I've gotta try to be a testimony to you.
Right.
My lifestyle speaks more than actions, right?
Yeah.
And you're gonna see if this guy, he's trying to serve God. He's different.
Yeah.
That might get you. The Jesus in me is going to try to get you.
Right. Yeah.
Because I can give you whatever. I can give you food. I can give you clothing. That's fine. The Bible says it's good to give, but that's not going to do a change in your life.
Yeah.
God is going to. Jesus is going to give a change to your life.
Yeah. No, that's true.
So like I said, a lot of people are not in church because they don't want to follow what God's will. They want to still do will.
I agree, but my point is, if they saw people who had better examples, and that's the truth. Because this is like anything else. Anytime you go into any place, you look around and see who's there, see who's representing, like a job.
Yeah.
They're like if you've ever been to a job and you want to go, they bring you in for an interview, right? You go and take a look around. This guy's rude. This guy won't get up to say hi to me. You just get a vibe and you feel, and then you say, you know what, I'm out. I'm not.
But I'm gonna tell you something.
I don't take it.
There is. If you look at the diagram, the churches, right? You see a church like it's called it's a Hillsong. You guys know a pastor in New York.
Okay.
He will. You go to those churches and you look at the people in those churches. And then you go to the other church. There's a pastor called Geno Jennings. I don't know if you heard about him. He's very
outgoing.
He's very hardcore.
Yeah.
But you look at his people and you look at the people in the other churches. You can see the difference.
Mm-hmm.
You can see when these people are in church to serve God, and a lot of I'm not pointing fingers at nobody, right?
Yeah.
The other people are more like, it's the cool thing, it's a place to be.
Yeah.
The cool spot, and then you see their fruits. And you can tell why some churches are getting a lot of people.
You're right.
But they're not really growing. People are not growing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But the church that is hard. Oh, there's a part of the Bible where Jesus was speaking to the apostles and the people about that he was going to die, and then they had to eat his flesh. People didn't get the message, so a lot of people started leaving. And the apostles told Jesus, "Hey, Jesus, what are you doing? These people are leaving."
Mm-hmm.
And Jesus said, "If you want to leave with them, you can leave too." So serving God is not easy. So it's not we're gonna have a lot of people always in there.
Yeah.
But I get what you're talking about. We gotta clean up be a better example to people.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a tough situation.
It is, because everybody is they're the hero in their own story.
Yeah.
They can't see their own. What I mean? Like me, I feel like I'm living well. I'm doing a good job. I treat people as well as I can. But I don't know how other people see me. I don't know how other people see me. You know what I mean? People can look at me and say, "Oh, this guy goes to church."
To me, I'm a sinner.
Yeah.
And I'm only serving God because of His grace. There's nothing really, that I can do to impress God. I'm saved by His grace. I don't deserve salvation, and God chose me and gave me the opportunity to serve Him.
Yeah.
To me, that's what I am. I'm not a good person. Even the Apostle Paul said, "O wretched man that I am."
Yeah.
So if we look at people are always going to fail.
But see, these are the people who are putting the Word of God in us. Preachers or everybody, even because if you look at the Bible and read the Bible on your own, there's some study Bibles there that teach it stuff, but there's people putting it in you. Even when I was a kid, even from a young age, that's who put it. I was a Royal Ambassador. Do you remember? You're part of the RAs. They had a group where you wear a little patch, you get all excited. I'm an ambassador to God. And I was an RA. I thought it was cool. I bought it.
Let me tell you something. I've been in church for. No, I don't want to go into church detail.
Yeah, no, we don't.
It's more a conversation. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree with you. That's what
I've been in church most of my life. Since I can remember, and most of the time I grew up in the church, and I grew up with a lot of young kids. A lot of young. I went through the youth group. I had my youth pastor, and then I was part of the church for about 24 years, something like that. And then now I'm out of the church where we're at right now.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that I grew up are no longer in church no more. And a lot of those people were part of the youth group. A lot of them were part of the music bands and everything that was going on.
Yeah.
And right now, a lot of them are in church. So now that I grew and I understand why is people not in church? And a lot of people think, oh, because church was mean to them, or because, you know, and it wasn't like that.
For whatever reason.
You know what the reason was? Because a lot of young people, a lot of people, their relationship is with the church, not with God.
Yeah.
So whenever a man fails, or whenever the pastor does something wrong, you decide, oh, I'm leaving, or I'm gonna go back to sin.
Yeah.
Because your eyes are put on men. Men fail.
Mm.
That's why I say a lot of us are gonna think we should be a better example. We should. But if your eyes are put in a man, men are always gonna disappoint you.
Yeah. Which is excellent if you grew up in the church. Like I mean, I'd say I left it for a long time, you know, and
yes.
I never really left God, but I did leave the church for a while. But
because when your relationship was with God, it doesn't matter what comes your way.
But that's my point, is we grew up with the church, and they told us from a young age something that stuck to both of us because we're still there, right? Yeah. Somebody somewhere told us something that was meaningful and impactful to both of us. I'm obviously different. I'm from Texas, and
yes.
You're from here, and we're ages apart. But my point is that we needed. What if you don't have that? You know, like people wanting to come into church now. You need man to show you how to do it. You know, because they don't. A lot of people don't. Like I said, they come off the street. They don't own a Bible.
If some people, if you're homosexual and you come to church, we're not here to condemn you. You know, we're here to show you Jesus.
Yeah.
And God and Jesus is gonna set you free. Because there's nothing that I can do to set you free.
Yeah.
It's God that does the change.
Right.
We just plant the seed, right?
But so okay, that's kind of, I don't want to throw you under the bus. I can edit this out if you want me to. But why is the first example you gave of homosexuals? Why wouldn't it be if you come up here hungry?
Because you were telling me that the church goes after homosexuality a lot.
Yeah.
Which they do. But we're not against person. If a person's homosexual, I don't hate a person who's homosexual. You know, there's family that mine that are homosexuals. I don't hate them. So if you love people, but it's like say there goes one thing. I'll probably get some beef from that, you know, from people.
I don't know.
Like I said,
being honest,
you can have a family member, right?
Yeah.
He might be addicted to cocaine or marijuana. Do you hate that person?
Not at all.
Do you love that person, right?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, but you don't like his habits, right?
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean you're gonna hate him. Same thing. You know, you could be homosexual and be my friend. I don't have anything. I might not agree with your lifestyle.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean I hate you.
You're right. So, and that kind of brings me to another point.
Like I said, I don't know everything. Yeah. You know, I'm learning too. You know.
Yeah.
I can say that a lot of my growing up in church. You know, like I said, a lot of my relationship was a lot in the church, being involved in church.
You're right. Yeah.
But there was a lot of lack in reading the Bible when I was growing up, and it took me, 4 years ago, I started getting more into the Bible. So I'm still learning, you know.
Yeah.
I know if you tell me, I know a lot of stuff, but I don't know it off the top of my head.
Right. Yeah.
You know, but you know me.
Yeah, no, you got a lot of knowledge. Christian's got a lot of knowledge, and I count on Christian on a lot of things. You know that,
especially right now when you want to, you forget your thoughts. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
And I want to be careful what I'm saying. I don't want to say something that's not true. You know.
Right. Yeah.
But like I said, I'm ready to.
But like you're talking about homosexuality, yes. We're talking about that. If you take that issue out, you'll lose probably, I'm going to assume 20% of the Republican Party, because that's what they're in there for. You know, a lot of them are in there for hate. They want to bring up hate for all kinds of people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of them do that, yes. and you can't say that they don't, because you hear them talking.
No, but like I said, it's the key word is sin. Here is sin.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of people, like I said, we heard it. A lot of people that have preached, pastors that have preached against homosexuality. Yeah. A lot of them have, come out as homosexuals.
Exactly. I always say that if you're protesting too much, like Shakespeare said, if you're protesting too much, you might actually need to look inward.
You talk about certain things, and then behind closed doors, you do the opposite.
I think a lot of people aren't secure in their manhood. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm serious. You know what I mean? If you're secure, you can say what you want, and you can support other people and not be worried about turning that back on you. No, a lot of people say that and they're super strong about it because they don't want people to point at them. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you're supporting him, you must be homosexual too. And a lot of people are afraid to say anything because they don't want that. And I'm like, dude, if you're secure in yourself and you're secure in your manhood, or your whatever hood, if you're securing yourself as a person, it doesn't affect you, and you can support whoever you want to support.
And you can support whoever you want.
You know what I mean? And without having to worry about somebody else, what somebody else says about you, because it doesn't affect you. And if you're on the fence about that, just remember that it's you. It's whatever you have inside you that nobody can push that around.
But the key word is sin.
Yeah.
You know, and under sin, under the umbrella of sin, there's idolatry, there's homosexuality,
right, yeah.
There's fornication, you know, everything, you know.
My like, how many times have you been in a locker room when we're talking about somebody cheating on their wife? Or I say locker room talk, you know what I'm talking about.
Trump talk.
Exactly, you hear that all the time, and whenever people say that, they're like, "Oh man, good job, dude. We're gonna find out," you know, stuff like that. But you don't admonish them like you should. Like, dude, that's jacked up. You know, that's a sin. You can't do that. Most people don't say that to people. You know what I mean? You've been around a lot of people,
and it's hard,
especially when a bunch of men get around together. That's what we talk about. You know,
see, that's why we have to be. The Bible says we have to be set apart.
Yeah.
You know, so if somebody's talking that, like say we can be here and they're talking about certain things.
Yeah.
But the moment that I'm, oh yeah, you know, that's, you know, then I'm being part of that.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm saying is my point is you should admonish all sins the same way and not just focus on one or two.
Yeah, but all sins, you know. But like I said, homosexuality, in one way, it goes against the plan of God for humanity.
Okay.
You know, that's
right. So
I don't hate homosexual.
I'm gonna
if we're going with Bible, you know.
Yeah.
God created a man and a woman,
right,
so that they can produce. Right.
Which I think we don't need to be reproducing anymore, guys. We got too many people already.
You know, but say
yeah, I know that's why, you know.
Like I said, that's the, you know, God made man to produce.
Right. Yeah, no. You know, I can kind of agree with that too, but so, I mean it's in the Bible.
Say
so
when two, you know, people of the same sex, they get say called married, right?
Yeah.
You can't produce, you know.
Yeah. To me, I don't.
Which
one less people, you know.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like I said, it's everybody. Everybody lives the way they want to live, you know.
Yeah. So that,
like I said, but I don't hate. Like I said, I've had friends that are homosexuals that I talk to, you know.
So
I've gone to dinner with, you know.
Yeah. So I had a friend who's a transvestite too. You know, I mean, he wasn't a transvestite when I knew him, but I knew that he was. I knew he was one,
you know,
but he hadn't, you know. He hadn't done the transition, and he was just realizing that himself way back. You know, it's been years ago.
But like I said, I also like to hear. You know, I'm that kind of person where, you know, I want to hear your story. You know,
right.
You know, if you're a homosexual, I want to talk to you. I want to know what's going on. See, not to judge you, but just to kind of understand.
Just to be curious. Yeah, I do too. I love talking to people.
They've got the trauma. You know, a lot of people have been molested. You know. Mm-hmm. Or, you know, certain situations in which they've got to that point where, you know.
Yeah, people can get that way. But the thing is, that's a long way of saying that you don't believe people are born like that. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, now we are getting a little bit into the weeds, which we really didn't want to get into the weeds a little too much. But
that could be for another episode.
Yeah, that's a different one. But I guess what we need to really bring this to tie this together a little bit is, whenever we're talking about homosexuality or we're talking about our thoughts and our beliefs, we're not really trying to say that, or let me rephrase that. The problem that people have with Christianity right now is that we try to tie that all in together with the Constitution, with government, with we had that conversation, I think it was podcast number 3.
Yes.
Where we were talking about Joe Biden wasn't the president for everybody.
Yes.
Because he was leaving, and that's what we were talking about, because he was pushing that agenda. We had a big back and forth on that. But just what I'm trying to say is a lot of the people who listen to the rhetoric, they realize that the Christianity is trying to push that on everybody else. You know what I mean? If the Republican Party wants everybody to feel the same way that they feel like, and to me, that's not the United States. The United States wasn't, you know, that's not what we're portraying to the world. We're telling the world, hey, you know what I'm saying? We're here for everybody.
No, but like I said, I'm not the kind of person like that. A lot of people, if there's a racist man out there talking, let him say it's a free speech, right?
No.
No, yeah.
Not to that extent.
See, because the moment you stop someone from giving their opinion, then you're staying us back.
So what about?
Because like say, if I was to say something against homosexuality, I would get canceled, right?
Okay.
But if somebody is pro homosexuality, they're not gonna get canceled, right?
Right.
Why?
Because one, you're not holding another one down. The other one, you're letting people.
I feel that everybody should have their own opinion, and they should be canceled.
The only people who say that are people who have bad opinions and they don't want to be canceled.
I have an opinion on nobody, but like I said, if there's somebody that has a different opinion as me, it's okay. I want to understand you. Let's sit down and talk.
Yeah, but you don't want anybody to tell you that you're wrong.
If I'm wrong, if you're wrong, I'm wrong.
Okay, what was it? A month or two ago in Florida, Nazis were doing their thing, talking about white supremacy. You think that's okay?
I don't think it's okay, but they should be able. It's a free country.
Okay, but how is that allowed? How should that be allowed? You can't do that in Germany. And Germany's a free country.
Yeah, but it's different. It's different. So then you're gonna cancel. The moment you cancel them, then you're gonna cancel the churches too.
Okay, but the thing is, what kind of? So here's what I don't understand. You don't want people getting married, right? Because it looks bad on the church. It looks bad on America. But you don't mind if people go marching for. You know what I mean? You can't have that. To me, you can't. There's no place for that.
No, if you're a Christian and you want to go preach, they want to cancel you.
To me, I feel like people who start saying that kind of stuff is okay is because they want to preach their own.
I'm just saying, I've seen a lot of street preachers that are preaching out on the streets.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, say a crew of homosexuals come and try to cancel them or attack them or tell them to stop. Right? But you can't tell a homosexual nothing.
Yeah, no.
So I feel like everybody should be able to have their own opinion.
You can,
no matter if it's good or bad.
But my point is, when you start turning that into the government, you can't do it.
Not to the government, but I'm saying in the open world.
Yeah.
You know.
But except for, I really don't
say if you don't like dogs, and I love dogs, it's your you have all the right to say you don't like dogs.
Yeah, but you can't compare that with people who are marching with Nazis. They kill people.
See, it's okay.
That's what I'm talking about. You're talking about something that's benign, something that doesn't hurt anybody. You know, a man kissing a man.
No, but I'm not strictly talking about that.
But now you're talking about Nazis who advocate killing other races. So that's what that's all about, and that's not shouldn't be free speech.
So you think
you can't have somebody talking about killing other people because that happens. People do it, and you know what I mean.
Okay, the Nazis, but you don't think there's other groups that want to kill Nazis?
But you don't hear people saying "Go kill Nazis."
Or you don't hear people say, "Oh, let's go kill cops." That's okay, but you can't say go kill.
No, you can't say that either.
No, but there's people that say that.
You're talking about rappers in the 90s, 80s?
I'm just saying overall, people say all kinds of stuff.
Okay, now you're talking about cops who actually do kill people. You know what I mean? So you're talking about a point and counterpoint. There's no counterpoint. There's no point.
I just think when you start canceling people for their own opinion, you're saying us back as a country.
No, dude. Nazis are setting you back as a country.
I'm not worried about the Nazis.
Well, you should be worried about the Nazis.
No, they're not a threat to me.
But transvestites are.
They're not a threat to me either.
We always hear about transvestites coming from.
No, but if I don't agree with either one of those groups, should I be canceled? No.
I think
if I don't agree with transvestites, and I don't agree with
what does canceled mean anyway?
Or people come against me, you're a bad person. No. So if I don't agree with the transvestites, if I don't agree with homosexuals, or if I don't agree with Black Lives Matter, or if I don't agree, I'm wrong.
You cannot agree with them, but you can't bring that and say that everybody needs to do that.
No,
in the country,
you're allowed to speak it, and then whoever wants to pick it up, they pick it up. I'm not bothered by that.
You know, I get that, but my point is, you really cannot. I'm stuck on the Nazis because that actually kills people, and that kind of rhetoric kills people. Even the rhetoric you're talking about killed
who kills more people, the Nazis or fentanyl right now?
Well, that's fentanyl, but I don't understand where that's coming from.
No, I'm just saying you're acting like the Nazis are going out there and killing people left and right.
No, but look what happens whenever they start getting in power.
It happens everywhere. You go to anywhere you go. You can go to a black hood, and you know you're not supposed to be there. You're gonna get hurt. You can go to a white neighborhood, and you're gonna get hurt.
So, all the killings that were done by hate crimes, you don't think that's gone up? What percentage has it gone up?
I don't hear.
Oh, look it up. Percentage of hate crimes since 2016.
like I said, the word is sin. Everybody sins. Everybody has hate in their heart. So everything that's happening around is because of hate, because of sin.
That's true. Anything can be brought to sin, to be honest with you.
You know?
Yeah, because
And like I said, everybody, there's sin out there, and you choose whatever you want to do.
right.
So like I said, I don't feel threatened by any of those groups. I don't feel threatened by the KKKs. I've never met a KKK. Why should I be worried about the KKKs?
Because they're out there.
They haven't done anything to me.
Okay, but so why are we more worried about people who like maybe 10 people who dressed in drag and gave a
They could dress and drag and do whatever they want as long as they don't preach it to me. I'm fine. If the KKKs want to do whatever they want, let them do whatever they want. As long as they don't push it on me.
So how do you know that won't happen?
Because it hasn't happened to me.
Yeah, but you don't think that people haven't died, like say Uvalde or other hate crimes, because they go to Mexico or South Texas where they know there's Mexicans. Same thing that happened in Buffalo, where they go and they target demographics because of the KKK and those white supremacist groups. And you don't think that's a problem?
Everybody gets. You go to anywhere we're not supposed to be. It don't matter the color of your skin. You're gonna get hurt.
So shopping at a shopping center, you're gonna get hurt. That's okay.
Hey, like if you go, okay, yeah, you can get hurt.
But you're not where you're not supposed to be. You're supposed to be shopping. You got to bring your groceries home to your family.
I get it, but like I said, I'm not threatened by nobody.
No, but you got to admit you have to minimize risk where you can.
Yeah, that's why I be careful wherever I'm going, whatever I hear.
So my point is, you don't think that the white supremacists hold any?
But why are you only singling out the white supremacists?
Because those are actually preaching hate. They're the ones that preach violence to other people. You know what I mean? They're actually preaching violence against other people. That's why I signal them out, because they're if you leave it up to them, they say that Hitler was great, he did a good job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They praise him. They're preaching that hate, and you don't think there's kids that affects more people than homosexuality.
I'm in California. I've never been threatened by the KKKs.
Okay,
I'm not threatened by homosexuals. I'm not.
You're thinking regionally though. You need to open the possibility the United States is all of the 50 states. It's not just California. California is insulated in a lot of ways, which is great. But that just means that you're insulated and you don't know what's out there.
I know what's out there, Daniel.
You don't think there's KKK people?
Yeah, but they're not doing nothing to me. Are they doing something to you?
Yes.
When I see you.
There's. You don't think it doesn't bother you?
He looks okay. He has no broken bones. He looks great.
Christian, my point is, if they threaten the United States, they should be. They shouldn't be allowed.
I've learned not to be a victim.
Yeah.
I'm not a victim. I'm not scared of the KKKs. I'm not scared of nobody. I try to be nice with everybody. You can be a homosexual. I'll treat you.
So basically,
with the same respect I'll treat a
you're basically just as long as nothing affects you, you don't care. That's what you're saying.
Well, I just gotta take care of my family.
No, that's great. I know.
You know, my kids, my wife. That's my worries. As long as they're okay, that's what I'm working for. That's why I get up every day to work for my family.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not worried about the KKKs.
Yeah, but so the thing is, I'm not worried about them here. But I am worried that kind of a sect will grow and become even more, because that actually preaches hate. You understand what I'm saying, right? They preach killing. They
see, that's the thing. You can go to anywhere. You can go to Mexico, to these indigenous villages, and just because you have the message of God, they'll kill you. That's a threat too. I guess that's the word threat,
Yeah.
Or you can go to different places, and if they don't agree with you, they're gonna kill you.
Yeah, but we're talking about the United States. We can't vote over there. We can't vote on who they could get represented.
Well, I feel more threat if I have to go cash a check at night,
mm-hmm.
or I have to go deposit a check to the bank. I'm more scared of that.
Right.
That somebody could rob me and shoot me than the KKKs. A lot of people might disagree with me, but I'm not threatened by the KKKs.
But what we're doing was focusing on one thing. We need to be focusing on the big picture, which is everybody in America needs to be voting on for people that actually push stuff that they want to be pushed. You know what I mean? Like that whole right wing right now. Why do you think the KKK, white supremacists, Nazis, why do you think they gravitate towards the Republican Party? I mean, there's no doubt, right?
But
you agree with
but
that,
like I said, right now, if you look at the demographics, there's a lot of Hispanics that are turning Republican. Why is that?
Yeah, but no, you're dodging the question. Why is all of these fringe white supremacist groups drawn to that party?
Okay, let me reverse the question.
No. Answer that question. Why are they drawn to that party? You know what I mean? Why are all these white supremacists, why are all these Nazis, why are they all drawn to the Republican Party? There's a reason.
I don't know.
Obviously, they like what they hear.
But why is it okay? Why are the Hispanics drawn to the Republican? Because they like what they hear too.
So you're comparing Nazis to wholesome Hispanic families who like the conservative message.
There's people there's hate everywhere.
And
it doesn't matter if you're a white supremacist, if you're a Mexican, there's hate everywhere.
So which party are drawn to? Because that same thing with the Hispanic, they don't like they're racist too.
Who?
Hispanics. A lot of them are racist. Homosexuality has been preached since birth that was bad. That's why they're drawn to that party also. Which, understandably, I mean, that's what you're learning.
Everybody should have the right to speak whatever they believe. Because the moment remember you're trying to cancel one, you're going to cancel everybody.
But my point is, why is it that one particular party is getting all these fringe outliers, all of the hate? That's what they're preaching. That's what they're serving up. So they need to have somebody to hate. First it was, like I said,
So I can
blacks and the Jewish people.
I can go somewhere in Alabama. A lot of those people are Christian people. And who do they tend to vote for?
They vote for Republicans.
So are they white supremacists?
There's a lot of them are racist. I lived there for, just so y'all know, I lived in Alabama for 2 years, and I've never heard the N-word any more than I've heard it over there in 2 years. That's a fact. I mean, anecdotal. That's me. My personal life experiences. I live there.
So
I work there. There is KKK there. That's where it.
But you're telling me, a lot of the people in Texas, there's a lot of Christian churches in Texas. They're Republican. They're white supremacists?
I would say that there is a lot of. I see a family in Texas. I gotta be careful. I would say that there's a lot of things in the Republican Party that they can identify with. There's a lot. I've never seen any more Confederate flags than I have in Texas. Put it that way. You know what I'm saying? The Republican Party is a beacon for that kind of thinking. When I was in Alabama, I was told by somebody in particular, "Hey, see that tree right there?
Yes.
That's where they used to hang black people."
See this thing,
and it sucked, you know. And I'm a little more sensitive like that. I'm like, dude, that kind of.
The thing is, like, say you did the Confederate flag. I might say, people might say I'm dumb or whatever, you know. And here in California, there's the Northern Bird flag, which represents United Farm Workers. Cesar Chavez. I don't know if you heard of Cesar Chavez.
Oh yeah. He's legendary for all over the country.
He was anti-immigration.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, he would talk about the wetbacks.
You talking about illegal immigration?
Yeah, he would talk. Okay, so you're telling me he'll talk about wetbacks and all this kind of stuff, right? So you're telling me that if I see that Northern Bird, I'm gonna go against that bird? No.
Okay, so you're talking about one man who, you're again, regional. You're talking about regional, just California, basically. I mean, he was far-reaching, right?
Yeah.
And he did a lot for people. So even a lot of those people that he said he didn't like are getting a lot of.
Yeah, but his rhetoric was kind of a racist rhetoric.
Okay, so
if we were to go like a lot of people say if we were to look at it in the bigger picture, like the Confederate flag, we would all say that Northern Bird flag is a racist flag.
Okay.
Would you agree with that?
I don't know. If you say what you said,
he said if you look into it,
yeah.
Cesar Chavez would say he was against illegal immigration, against the wetbacks, and
did he make the flag?
Like monkeys?
Was it his flag?
I think that was part of his flag.
So then that'd be fine too. But you can't compare that with the Confederate flag. The Confederate flag actually fought against the United States of America for slavery. Just because he said he didn't like wetbacks, was he talking about putting them into bondage? Or was he just saying he doesn't want them here? I mean, I understand what you're saying. It's got to start and stop somewhere, right?
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying. Where do you stop if you? But to me, the Confederate flag is, as long as the Confederate flag is allowed to fly, people can still feel it in their hearts that it's okay to think that way because the American public is condoning it. And to me, states' rights, they buried it. We're in a whole other conversation.
Maybe I'm wrong to people. The Confederate flag doesn't bother me at all. I'm not bothered by it.
Yeah, to me, I don't like it, but I think it should. I'm going on record.
I'm going to find like I hate, but it doesn't bother me at all.
I think the Confederate flag should be outlawed. I really do, just because of what it stands for. And you're never going to move forward as a country if you still have people thinking that because America honors that flag still, a big portion of it, and they condone it, that it's okay to think the way they do, and you'll never beat racism like that. To me, that's the goal.
I just think our role as victims needs to change.
Okay, what do you mean by victims?
We're always the being attacked and blah blah blah, and we're threatened. Oh, get up and be something.
Okay, so victims are the people you push down and you stomp on and they stay down, right?
Yes.
How many people do you know like that?
A lot.
You know a lot of people who just take the punching and keep. To me, the ones that get back and fight for other people are not victims. The ones that I think are victims are the ones who get punched down. They learn their lesson, and they're not going to go any further and push anybody else because, hey, they want me down here. I'm going to stay down here.
No, I get it, but
that's a victim. If you're not afraid to fight for other people, you're not a victim. You're to me, if you feel like you want to talk and help other people, I see a lot of people on TikTok fighting for indigenous rights and stuff like that. They're not a victim. They are trying to help everybody else out and trying to open everybody else's eyes to injustices. That's not being a victim.
This is the United States of America. If there's people that come from another country to the United States and are able to be successful, then anybody in this country should be successful.
No, I agree.
I don't feel like the victim, like, no.
But I don't understand. What do you mean by victim? Because I don't see what you see.
Okay, like I'm saying this, you feel threatened by the white supremacy, right?
I don't feel threatened by them, but I think the United States should be threatened by them. You don't think there's been more shootings because of, if you see the manifestos that these people send out, it's because they think that America should be pure. They need to go back to the roots. I'm going to tell you something. Here, maybe 2012, 2013, here in our city, we had 100 murders, close to 100 murders. And I guarantee you, most of those murders have nothing to do with white supremacy. But again, that's regional. But I know what you're saying.
When was the last time a big massacre like that happened?
I don't know, but they happen a lot more than you think. They don't report on all of them.
See, but I don't know, man. I just feel like let's not be the victims, y'all.
Okay, so what do you mean by victim? I still don't understand.
You say you want to counsel people for having an opinion because that opinion could make you feel like less of a person, I think.
No, you're getting it all wrong. So let me tell you what I think. I think that being against something means you're strong enough in yourself to be able to be against something instead of just sitting there cowering down and accepting what they give you. You know what I mean? To me, that's a victim. To me, the victim can't push up, can't say what's right. They can't fight for other people's rights because they can't fight for themselves. They're scared. They're the ones who are afraid. They're the ones who are the victims, and they can't. If you don't find it in yourself to fight for other people, then that means you probably aren't fighting for yourself. And that, to me, those people are not the victims. Those are the ones that you need, and we need more people like that. And you keep holding them down.
No, I'm just saying, don't be this. Hey, that's all. Everybody has opportunity to work for their families, to live a good life. So nothing holds me. The only thing that holds me back, it could be God, sickness to my body. But as long as I'm healthy, I'm gonna try to do the best to keep my family, and I'm not threatened by nobody.
I think that somebody who's
so okay. Let me ask you one thing. Before we're almost gonna be done. I don't want to say,
Yeah, we're wrapping it up.
So you're against white supremacy, right?
Obviously. Are you?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I don't like racism.
I want to make sure we're on the same page.
No, I don't like racism, right?
Right, okay.
Right. But are you against Black Lives Matter?
I'm against not Black Lives Matter itself. As far as Black Lives Matter, I mean, you talking about the same?
No,
Black Lives Matter? Yes, Black Lives do matter.
Organization with the organization stand.
Where's their headquarters? Do they have a headquarters?
They did. One of their houses, the $1 million homes, that was a headquarters.
Okay, see, that's.
Oh, what I'm saying is
where are they now?
I don't even know.
Okay, so where are white supremacists? They're in Florida. You know what I mean? There's a big difference. To me, you're talking about some that had their little moment of whatever, or something that's going to be growing. You know, that Black Lives Matters. It's morphed, it's changed, whatever. It's turned into something different, right? It's not there anymore, or if it is, it's in the back. But now we're talking about something that's going to keep growing, and they just preach hate. And to me, I'm not the victim saying that's bad.
As a society, everybody's hateful against everybody. Daniel. I've heard so many stuff. Say a lot of people get hate. Let's be honest. A lot of people come, and I'm not hating. I don't hate on nobody. A lot of people come and hate. The Indians, especially in the trucking business. Everybody gets mad and hates the Indians because they're taking.
Well, I'm in the trucking business.
They're taking over. I don't know if you heard. The Indians are taking over the.
I've heard them said Punjabis this,
yeah.
Punjabis that,
and most of the people are not white supremacists. A lot of people that are against that are minorities too.
Yeah.
So.
Well, here's the problem that I have with your thinking. I'll be honest. I have a problem with your thinking. I like you as a person, I love you as a man, you're a family man.
I'm not racist.
You're a family man.
I'm not racist.
That's between you and God. But I do like you. I mean, we're friends. I say we're friends, but I don't like you thinking that when you say that it's not my problem, that that society's a mess because everybody hates everybody. But the problem is you're okay with it. You know what I'm saying? You're like, well, that's just how it is. They should be able to say what they want to say. You don't take a stand.
No, the thing is that if KKKs are able to say whatever they want, I should be able to say whatever I want.
That's my point exactly.
No, you want to cancel them, and then they're going to want to cancel you.
So why? So what are you saying that you can't say?
No, so the way things are going now is if you speak about certain people, certain things, they cancel you.
I don't care about being canceled. What does that mean? Nope.
Not me, but I'm talking about.
We're going to get a few less views on our podcast. So, okay, so what? I'm being true to me.
I feel like everybody has their opinion, and you choose if that opinion is going to affect you.
To a certain extent, that's right. But whenever you're preaching, like if I come to you and say, hey, Christian, I don't like this group of people. I think they should die. And you're like, but hey, they're not that bad. And what if I say, dude, I'll give you 10 reasons why they're bad. Because you can find that for anybody. You can find that to any group. You can find the faults in all of them. And all of a sudden you're like, you know what? Everything you said is true. So yeah, they are bad. They should die. Then us two to get together and find some more. You know what I'm saying? So my point is that's a cancer that grows and kills.
But it grows because of the experience you had, right?
No. It grows because I'm telling you about some false experiences. I'm talking you into something that you don't believe in. That's how it grows. And to me, if you knock that out and you say, "Hey, dude, get that shit out of here. We don't want it in America. It can't grow. You got to."
The moment you cancel one group, then you're gonna cancel another group because they don't share the same opinion as you.
Okay, but see, that's the same thing that Christianity is doing with, or not Christianity, the Republican Party will say is doing with all these other marginalized groups. You know what they mean by marginalized group?
Yes.
People that really can't fight for themselves. People that really can't. They don't have a voice. So it's easy to gang up on them. Like I said, first it was black people, it was Jewish people throughout history, Mexicans. You know what I mean? Next thing you know, it's Democrats, and now it's Republicans fighting Republicans. Where does it end? You know, the only way that ends is like a failed coup, another coup.
It's never going to end because it's part of sin. Some people from this side hate the other side. The other people from the other side hate. But we just got to live.
You can't. But the point is, you have to take a stand. You can't be a victim and not take a stand. that's a victim to me. You have to take a stand and not be a victim.
Well, if it affects you, maybe, but if it doesn't,
even if it doesn't affect you, how are you? The world needs leaders. You need people. Like I see a lot of people on TikTok, and I really appreciate the stuff that they do, the work that they do, because they're fighting for what's right, and you know it's right.
But what could be right for you might not be right for someone else.
So, if we can't even agree that white supremacy shouldn't exist, how are we going to agree on anything else? You don't.
I guess.
Maybe rephrase that. I was not going to say that was good.
It's white supremacy. I'm not denying it.
No, but you should have.
I'm not worried about it.
You don't have to be worried. Okay, that's how societies disintegrate, because people just are apathetic. Oh, okay, it doesn't affect me. I'm not gonna worry about it. So when are you gonna affect it? When the white supremacists kill somebody in your family?
Anybody else could kill anybody in my family.
Okay, but my point is, there's a manifesto written.
Why does it always have to be? I think you just don't like white people.
No, not at all. No, man, you can't say that.
No,
that don't make no sense.
Well, it does sound like you don't like.
So are you saying all white people are white supremacists?
By the way you're expressing it.
No.
Most of the Republicans are what? What color?
Most of them, I guess I would say white. Most of them, but not all of them.
Yeah, maybe 80% of them are white.
Well, I would say that.
You're saying that
maybe less than that, but yeah.
Well, 70% of it. And you're saying that most of the white. So you're pretty much saying that the Republican Party is a white supremacist.
So what percentage of Democrats are white? I guarantee it's about 60-70%. You know what I mean? It's not as cut and dry as you're making it out to be.
I don't know. I just think if everybody gets the moment we start canceling one group, they're gonna want to cancel the other group.
Yeah, but the moment you start accepting this group because you don't want to be canceled,
I'm not accepting them. I'm not.
You're apathetic. You're like, I don't care. You know, whatever. You know, you need to be more empathetic. You know what I'm saying? You need to be more like, hey, I'm trying to tell you how to live your life.
No, like what I'm saying is we're gonna go back to church, okay?
As a Christian man,
most of churches in the Midwest, you say they're white supremacists, right?
No, I didn't say that.
No, you didn't say that. You say they're Republican.
Yeah, I said they're Republican.
And you don't like what they stand for.
I didn't say I don't like. I said a lot of them. I said the Republican Party. I don't like what the Republican Party stands for.
No, I'm talking about.
And because if those guys are aligning themselves with the Republican Party,
I'm talking about the church. Say a church in Mississippi.
Nah, churches are churches. They're gonna.
What I'm saying is the message at the church. The message at the church. A church in Lodi preaching could be the same message that a church in Indiana is preaching.
Yeah, no, I agree.
They both,
and that's kind of what we're getting at.
You know, so you're saying, I don't like most of the churches that are Republican because they're anti this, anti that, anti this.
I didn't even say that.
You said the church.
I said the church nowadays is, since they started with the prosperity teaching and how they've been anti-gay people, anti-transvestites, they're growing because of that.
They're not growing because of that.
Take a look at it. They're growing because of. Why are they growing? They're growing. They're growing politically.
A lot of churches are losing a lot of numbers.
I know, but look what's come up. The ones that have come up, if you notice, are the ones that came up to support politics. They're the ones who decided to raise money for school board elections. They're raising money for state representatives. You know what I mean?
I think most of churches anywhere are always going to be pro-Bible, whatever the Bible says. And
I'm calling bullshit on that one, because they pick and choose what they want out of the Bible.
No, Daniel, no.
No, a lot of them do.
That is me.
Like I said, there's thousands of ways they could have presented the Bible to people. Why did they choose that way? You know what I mean? I won't ever understand that one, because there's no, like our preacher.
Yes.
Our preacher doesn't talk about. You know what our preacher talks. Yeah. I don't want to give that. Y'all want to. I don't know if he does it on live or not anymore. But I think that the way our preacher does a great job of presenting the Bible to everybody.
Yes, but I'm saying is my pastor. He preaches the word. He doesn't. If he preaches the word for everybody.
Okay, but my point is and you've seen it.
Yeah.
They don't all do that. They don't have the same kind of inner light to be able to do that. So they're all about the prayer of Jabez. Hey, do this. Give me some stuff. Like these Texas. Yeah, a lot of those. You've seen them on TV. What's his name? The one I was telling you, Kenneth Copeland. You saw him whenever Joe Biden won, and he was talking about. You say who won? He started laughing.
Yeah,
like
but like I said, let's be honest. A lot of these big celebrity pastors, they hang around with the celebrities, and a lot of homosexuality is going on in there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, so
really they're not following what they're preaching.
You know, a lot of these guys and a lot of these preachers they're involved in scandals. You know.
Yeah. Well, like the Texas ones, they're affairs
everywhere. So what I'm saying is there's passion. There's people still preaching against that too.
Yeah.
So the message is to preach against sin. Not only the thing is that the people preach to me about everything except what I like to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Then that's when people have a problem.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
You know, but like I said, you know, this could go forever. But you know.
Yeah, I mean, this has gone on forever because this is not the first time we've talked about it. Like, we talk about it a lot.
But like I said,
and a couple of them have gotten pretty animated. Which you guys. We should. I don't know, because we do say some stuff that we don't want to publicize, but you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah,
we say some stuff I'm surprised we're still friends afterwards. You know, when we say stuff.
No, because the thing is that it's like that's what I'm saying. You should be able to have your opinion, and I should have my opinion. Mm-hmm. It could be the east and west, but we can still get along. Which
unless your opinion is you want to kill people, then I'm going to silence you. I don't want a part of that. I don't even want to be your friend. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If you tell me you want to go kill somebody or you think somebody group should be killed,
me too.
I don't want to be your friend.
If you say
but that's my point when we're talking about this other sect that you don't want to denounce.
But what I'm trying,
you're gonna tell them to stand back. You can tell them to stand back and stand by.
There's more people being killed because of drugs than what the white supremacists or what the Black Panthers or any other organization are doing.
Okay, then why won't? That's a whole other conversation. If we want to talk about.
And I'm not defending the white KKK. I'm not defending the KKKs again.
No, I know. It sounds like you are.
I know. I'm just saying.
It doesn't sound like you're denouncing them.
You're going straight at that organization, like they're killing people.
I said the Nazis, but yeah.
When there's other big issues, people are dying because of drug addiction.
Okay, but then why won't you all fund, meaning the government, the Republicans? Why won't they fund that kind of care for them?
See, that's another subject too.
I know, but that's my point. All the Republicans are saying they're talking out their ass. They're saying, hey, this is what needs to happen. There's a drug problem, but then they're like, hey, let's fund them. Let's give them some help. Oh man, make them work for it.
No, that's another subject. It's the same thing. You want to come after legal guns when people are being shot by illegal guns.
There's how
the Democrats are coming after people that want to have a legal gun to protect their home.
Who? But how? Because that's not true either.
Yeah.
Beto lost.
No, but I'm saying Gavin Newsom is making it harder on people to own guns, raising taxes on guns.
Okay,
but he's not going after the people that have illegal guns in the street.
How not? You don't think they're going after those if they find them?
Not. Why are we still having all these murders?
Okay, well let me ask you another question. How do guns become illegal guns?
When you have a gun without a permit.
But how does that happen?
When they don't do a background check on you. He's going after making it hard on the people that are willing to go get it back.
My point is, if you went and bought a gun, you purchased it legally, right? Then you report it stolen, whatever. It's an illegal gun, but somebody has it.
Yeah, but
you know what I'm saying?
Legally, it's like in New York, right? If you get caught with a gun that's not under, it's 3 years automatic. I don't hear that happening here in California.
Not yet, no.
But yet you're going after the person that wants to have a gun to protect their house.
So you can have a gun in California that's not registered to you, as long as it's on your property and you're protecting it. You can have a gun.
Yeah, but I'm saying all of these crimes are being committed by people who don't have a registered gun.
But those guns that aren't registered were registered to somebody at some point.
Yeah, but go after the people that have illegal guns.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go after people that want to have a gun to protect their home.
So that's
another subject.
Yeah, I don't want to get into that. I've got plenty to say on that
Okay,
too. I mean, I'm a gun owner, so you know that. I've told you that before.
We gotta talk about that. That's coming. You know.
We might talk about that. That's a good one.
Yeah, but like I said,
gun control would be another one.
Be on alert. New podcast coming about.
Yeah, we'll be talking about. We're not going to wait so long for the next one.
We'll do it. You know. But like I said, we're just two guys that, you know, right now we disagree, but we, you know.
Oh yeah, and we're gonna disagree.
Like I said, he's not racist. I'm not racist. We just, you know.
We just believe what we believe.
We have different opinions, right?
Yeah. Again, like I said, everybody is the hero of their own story, you know. Yeah. So I think I'm right. But, you think you're right. And
don't be scared of anybody.
Right on, exactly. You know, don't be afraid to speak out against injustices. That doesn't make you weak.
Just, yeah. All right, guys.
Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Podcast number 5 is in the books. Appreciate you guys.
All right, guys. See you.